Okay, so I don't have cards made yet, so I'm just using my outline on my laptop, and I haven't made a lot of changes from your guys' suggestions yet, but I probably will. And what I'm kind of looking for feedback is if I should do any just any further explanations on things, or maybe add another point, or just anything you guys might be interested in. So yeah, here goes. So my topic is spotting vintage t-shirts. Some t-shirts you could buy for less than $1 are worth thousands. Finding and recognizing these t-shirts is a skill not everyone has. In this speech, I will teach you how to spot a vintage t-shirt, how to recognize their monetary value. Alright, first, spotting a vintage t-shirt. So the difference in the stitching between vintage and modern is that a vintage t-shirt has a single stitched sleeve right here, and sometimes a single stitched seam down here too. And that is one of the biggest differences. All vintage t-shirts usually have a actual cloth tag on it instead of a printed one that most new t-shirts have. And another really telltale sign is a timestamp. This is 92 right here. A lot of the times they are very small or big like this. And yeah, so I talked about how to spot them. Let's get into the monetary value of them. So the difference between just a shirt and kind of a grail shirt is usually subject matter. So I have an example right here. So this shirt, Sandals Jamaica, has just some flags on it. This is just a normal t-shirt. This would probably go for like $15 tops for someone who really likes Jamaica. And this one is kind of closer to a grail. It is a Rolling Stones t-shirt, and this one probably you could sell for between $100 and $200. And so the biggest difference is the subject matter. This is obviously a popular band. It has a good timestamp and a lot of information on it, which people think is cool. And so that's one of the biggest differences. The material doesn't matter that much, but usually the older it is, like 80s, 70s, and even 60s, those go for more money than something like the 90s or the early 2000s. Collectors and t-shirts, people collect them. I have a collection of them. It just means something to people, and it's really easy to kind of get into. And the market. So people in the US buy, sell, trade vintage t-shirts a lot, and it's not a huge thing. It's a pretty big business, but in places like Japan or in Asia, the market is crazy. You can sell shirts for thousands of dollars over there. And yeah, so I kind of walked you through how to spot a vintage t-shirt and the money side of things. I hope my speech has educated you on some vintage t-shirts, and I really encourage you to get out there, go to some thrift stores, dig around, and find your own vintage t-shirts. Thanks, that's all.